My name is Patty Bajuzik. I was the Director of Admissions. That was the last job that I had here, and I was just under 22 years altogether.
Hi, I'm Dr. R. William Weisberger, and I have recently retired from BC3 after 44 and a half years of teaching. I was a professor of history. I have a PhD in history and have taught in the history as well. I have taught history and also sociology in the social science department, and I've also taught some business courses during my tenure.
Hi, my name is Ruth Scott. I'm a Director of Records and Registration at BC3, and I'm going to retire.
My first position was I was a tutor in the tutoring center, and I worked with students primarily in English, but also some other areas as well, speech, even some art history classes, some different things like that. And so I helped the students that were studying in those areas.
My first position at BC3 was secretary to the Director of Admissions and Registration, and I was the registrar's secretary.
So my wife Patty said, "You got a call from Bert Schaefer. He wants to offer you a job at BC3. I couldn't believe it, so I had to come back for an interview with Dr. Lawson, the late James Lawson, whatever his name is. And I drove 500 miles to hear what he had to say. That's all I'll say, that I drove 500 miles back. We packed up and we came.
When I first came here as a student, we had very few buildings. There were just 4 of them, 5 if you want to count the little bookstore in between. And then we grew into the library, and the lodge came, and then the other buildings came over the years.
Well, I was excited about the students, but the students have changed so dramatically, as you well know. So we've gone from students who you could give straight essay test. I saw somebody in Cranberry. I wouldn't even have known this person. She was a cheerleader. Can you imagine? She said, "Don't you remember me? My last name was something like Myers," and so on. And I remember Janie Bryson and all these other people. And I said, "I'm sorry to say I don't." She said, "I loved your course because you gave essay tests." Well, eventually down the line, with the kind of students, it's a mixed bag that you do get. You have to mix it up, and so I did. And today's student is nothing like that. It's the high-tech kind of student and so on. I'm a very low-tech person, and nobody, of course, could read my handwriting.
I remember being excited about being part of something really positive, being able to use my degree in English in a way that I really hadn't anticipated being able to do. Being very fascinated by the students' stories. That was one thing when you were working with them on an individual basis, editing papers, talking to them about what they were writing. You really got to know them. And many of the students that I worked with were non-traditional, and so their stories were very varied and very interesting. And so I can remember that as going back home afterwards there and really feeling kind of positive about what we were able to do.
I'd like to be remembered as the person that was a go-to person, that I could help solve a problem or be a set of ears for someone to listen or banter back and forth, come up with more ideas. And having been a kind person, I hope I've been kind to everybody, and that they can say, "Oh, I remember when you were there." Because it's, times, even though I'm in the position I'm in, I'm not at the front windows as much. But when you have been and when I was in the past, you'd see people on the street and they'd recognize you, which is always fun to think, well, I have made some type of an impression. It's been a positive one, I hope. And I think I have. But I kind of like to be remembered that way. Not even so much for the work. Yeah, I feel I've done a good job working here, and I feel we've advanced quite a bit. But I think I'd rather be known more that I was a kind person, and I'll do anything I can to help you.
He did his thing at BC3. I think I did. I've been called Wild Bill. I've been called everything under the sun, but that doesn't bother me. I guess also too a little bit for the publications, because oh boy, we did it. Look what you did to help us out too. Okay, It's sort of, it's the same kind of thing you see with the college football games and basketball games. We are number one in this field, like Penn State Civil Engineering or something like that. Or we have somebody at UPMC is doing this. Well, this is what I did.
Before I left, I was cleaning out my desk, and I had a big plastic bag where I would throw in all the cards or notes that I got from people over the years. And it was kind of fun just to sit there and, read the notes that I may have received from a group that we hosted on campus or an individual student who came in and met with me and, thanked me for my time and the information that I was able to give them. And so it was sort of nice to have not only the idea in my head that I was appreciated for what I did, but then I also had this sort of concrete proof about it too, so that was good.
When I remember back when I was in high school, where there was just 2 buildings, when we came to look at it, and the dirt fields around us and the grass, but we've always kept the beauty of this campus with the trees, which has been wonderful. There's no other campus around, community college-wise, I would say is prettier than us. We have a beautiful campus, and over the years, many people have come on and said, wow, this is a really pretty campus, because they've been to other places, and says, this is unbelievable at a community college that you see this. And I think that helps with the environment for everybody.